Here is the 2023 Cadillac XT4 Sport in crystal white over Sedona leather interior. New will be a refresh for 2024. So I wanted to give a comparison between the two trims because the 24s haven't landed yet in our area, so you can see the similarities or the differences in which would you rather option the 23 or the 24? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. Up front is going to be refreshed. That is the headlamp assembly for the 24 model. The grille is going to be tweaked, so now you'll have the similarity of an XT6 in the LYRIQ instead of the traditional style of the grille where it's more of a V structure. But because it's a sport trim, you're still going to have that athletic appearance. You'll all have the gloss black elements and 6.7 inches of clearance and a 58.1, 49.9 weight distribution to do any maneuverability. And because it's a sport trim, 20-inch alloy with diamond cut titanium satin finish. Available active sports suspension, which continues the damper control to adjust the chassis tuning every 2 milliseconds. Now, this is not going to be the fastest vehicle in its class. It's going to be a carryover for the powertrain. We have a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine that's going to produce 235 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It will be paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission, and you will achieve 24 mpgs to the city, 30 mpgs for the highway, reaching 60 in the high 7 to 8 seconds. Towing capacity will still be 3,500 pounds max. For 24, you'll get reworked tail lights, and the windshield wiper will still be tucked underneath the lower roof spoiler to keep the essence of luxury. Front and rear parking sensors and a reverse camera. Power liftgate going into 22.5 cubic feet of storage. The interior lighting will be LED with a 12-volt privacy cover. Underneath the floor, no spare tire, but plenty of areas to put more storage. Split fold the rear bench at a 40-60 split, increasing cargo to 48.9 cubic feet. Turbocharged. We need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. Going inside the smallest Cadillac SUV, the XT4. Headroom starts at 39.4 inches, legroom 38.9 inches. And the reason why I'm illustrating this is because you don't have to option the XT5. Now the 2024 will get the 33-inch advanced dashboard, touchscreen, infotainment, gauge cluster, and touchscreen on the side with available AKG 13 speakers. Here we'll get the 13 speaker Bose setup. 14-way power adjustment with the Sedona leather heated memory perforated massage for the front occupants. Here we'll get the wood, the Sedona contrast stitching, the air vents on the top, whereas this area here will be all changed. 8-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, Wi-Fi hotspot. Optioning the 24 will get 5G capabilities. OnStar with My Cadillac. Put it into reverse, a reverse camera with full trajectory, dual climate control settings, a storage compartment with a 12-volt, USB ports. The cup holders can fit about a 20-ounce area that you can put your phone. Open up inside, and here you can run for your 12-volt charger. And if you want to put your phone up here, you have a little access area so all the wiring stays incorporated inside. It's going to be soft to touch, rotary knob for the infotainment screen, and the driver mode select, which has Tour, Sport, Snow Ice. Leather wrap steering wheel, 3-spoke multifunction heated adaptive cruise control. This also will be reconfigured pretty much right here, so it will mimic the XT6 paddle shifters in the stock. The gauge cluster will also be reconfigured into a digital reader. Here we have a TFT display that can go for your navigation, Bluetooth connectivity, and any settings or information for the driver, in which you'll have another area here for the refresh that can reconfigure the gauge cluster. A-pillars get the Bose sound system, and the door panels configure into the dash with more of your everyday materials on top. It's going to be soft where it needs to be with the wood inlays, one touch up and down just for the front windows. Storage pocket that has a umbrella holder and an area for some beverages. Because this is a Sport, we have a pano moonroof. For the rear occupants, you actually have headroom, 38.9 inches. Legroom, 39.5 inches. Backseat occupants get heated rear seats, USB, air vents in the center, storage behind both of the front seats. The door panel configures the same way as the front, more sporty and everyday, more soft where it needs to be. Smaller storage pocket goes into the back. Sitting into the center, headroom is still no issue, nor is leg space. Butt and shoulder space I will be sharing, but feet space is good because the rails are pushed up enough. What makes this so unique is you don't have to go up the tier to the XT5 if you have a family of 5. You can still option this and have that turbocharged engine. 235 horsepower, which is not going to be the best in class. It will have more horsepower than the Audi Q3 45, and it'll be it's still going to be a little bit slower in the 0 to 60 because this is more towards the 8 seconds. When it's comparing it against Infiniti, the thing that I like about this is you get an automatic transmission, whereas there you get a CVT transmission. When you go into Acura, that's going to have a lot more power underneath it. This is going to be a blend of luxury and performance, and this is what you get. A settled drive. We have upgraded wheels, so it's going to filter in some of that road noise. The suspension is going to be a little bit more on the sporty side, not quite as much as BMW, but I would say kind of similar to Acura. But the sound deadening, because of the price point, I wish it was a little bit more airtight. Comparing this to the 24 model, interior is really where it makes the huge difference because of the screen layout for the dashboard and the steering wheel. And you also have the AKG 13 speakers instead of the Bose. I kind of like the Bose a little bit better. You get 5G capabilities there. Here, you're not going to worry so much about application fees because it's the older system. Anything that's newer, you're going to start having to worry about paying for subscriptions because that's where the automotive industry is doing. Here we go. Little turbo, it kicks in. It has a very similar feel to the Infiniti QX50 with the VC turbocharged, and the reason why I say that is because the ratio, the way it structures, so when you're mashing on the gas pedal, it will mimic a V6. When you're just driving it lightly, it will mimic a diesel 4-cylinder. That's for the Infiniti. This kind of has that same feel to it when it pushes you back, except you don't have as much of it off the line where it would be changing to that compression ratio. That's going to take me to some things I like and dislike. Starting off with is what I like. Because you get the Sport model, you still get the attributes that will be very similar to the 24. So if you option the 23, because it should be a discounted rate, especially when the 24 start rolling in, you're not going to be dissatisfied, and it's not going to be something that's a huge difference in appearance unless you have them side by side. Ground clearance, all of them are going to be the same. So you're nearly 7 inches. You're not having any concerns. It's a smaller, compact SUV, but you still have the best in class for second or rear seat legroom, nearly 40 inches. Massage seats. Now, one thing that's a disadvantage is the car starts around $40,000. We're at a little bit over $50,000. We have over $8,000 of upgrade. Yes, you will have more luxury in this than a BMW, an Audi, or a Mercedes because of the massage seats, and the new screen will be the biggest in class. Even comparing it against the Volvo XC40, it's still going to be lacking in power, in the performance numbers. The style, it doesn't. It really does nail it in that category. Couple things that I dislike besides that would be the wheel design. I kind of wish it was a little bit more sporty. I like the satin look that they put to it instead of giving us a chrome or just an aluminum brush look. It's a little bit more of a matte texture, so it does emphasize sport, but it would look a lot better with like a gloss black wheel or just a matte black wheel. So that way it would really stress that performance even though you're not getting it underneath the hood. For the 23 model, the dash layout is very plain and simple, where when you get into the 24, it's going to be a little bit more tech driven, more unique and stylish. The rest of the car is going to be very similar because it's just a few things that they touch bases on. So optioning this or the 24, I think either way you go, you will be pleased. Turn radius at a stop point, it's gonna get a little bit longer than I wanted. I would say about 2.5 to 3. Let's rock and roll. Show you those brakes. Braking isn't bad. The numbers is gonna be about 175, 70 to 0. So it's not as athletic as some of the German rivals, but when you're getting to those price points, you also have to take in consideration this is fully loaded, where those start at a higher MSRP. So you're getting all these packages blended in with an everyday smooth drive and a little bit of performance to back it. I'd like to thank Cadillac Lakeland for giving us this 2023 Cadillac XT4 Sport for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video and the subscribe button. Check out the merchandise website, Instagram, leave a comment and a like. Check this out.